everyone, here's another book recommendation video. This time I'm doing Christmas books. Now obviously there are loads and loads and loads and loads of Christmas books out there, some of which I will be showing you in my Christmas Spirit readathon, which starts on Monday, so this is kind of a tie-in to that. But I've tried to pick a variety of books here, some of which don't take you too long to get through, some of which are classics, and some of which are probably new to you. So first up, I'm going to start with the Blue Carbuncle. This is a Sherlock Holmes story written by Arthur Conan Doyle, and it's in the collection of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, if you don't know which volume to go for. And it basically follows the tale of how a blue carbuncle, that's a very sparkly jewel, ends up inside a goose on Christmas morning. I love it. Sticking on the crime theme, I've got a couple of Agatha Christie Christmas ones. We've got The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding and Herculoids Christmas, and I'm sure somewhere there's a Miss Marple Christmassy related one, but I couldn't figure out which one it was. But both are great little adventures. The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding is, believe it or not, actually quite a short story, but it doesn't look it in this volume. And Herculoids Christmas is a great fun. Taking the typical staged murder and inserting a real murder into it. It's very, very good. If you're not up for reading it, I would also recommend you go and check out the David Suchet adaptation of Herculoids Christmas, because it's very good. Moving on to children's book, I've picked up Stickman by Julia Donaldson. This follows the adventures of said Stickman, and it's very, very sweet, and Christmas does play quite a role in this story. There's the classic The Snowman by Raymond Briggs. This, which is really hard now to get hold of, is the original version with no words. So you'll be reading the pictures in this one. But I had to buy a second-hand copy of this because you can't seem to buy the original version anymore. They've all got words on it telling you what's happening. And it's like, no, I want The Snowman as I remember it as a kid. And again, if you can't fancy reading a book with no words in it, there's the Channel 4 animated version released in the 80s, which has no words in it. It's all music and visuals, and it's pretty close to the book. They did add a little bit in there, but yeah, that kind of breaks your heart. I've picked up Richard Scarry's The Night Before Christmas because my kids love these books. They love looking for Lowly Worm in here, and they just really enjoy them, and they're very fun, quick, entertaining short stories. And something a bit different. There's the classic The Night Before Christmas. There are obviously loads and loads and loads of versions of this tale, but this is my copy. And it's just a classic story to read, particularly on Christmas Eve, but I really like it. The Polar Express, written by Chris Van Allsburg. I have to admit I saw the film of this first and didn't really sort of like it, but I like the concept behind it. So I've got the book, and the book's actually very sweet, and this version is, I mean, it's beautifully illustrated. So it's certainly one if you want sort of a modern day classic children's story. Speaking of which, the Chronicles of Narnia, specifically the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, because obviously we have the whole breaking the spell, turning Narnia from winter to spring, and obviously that involves Father Christmas visiting. Father Christmas cannot visit until the spell has been broken. So there's a lovely scene in here with Father Christmas, and obviously there's a film version as well. If you, again, don't fancy reading it, but you just want to be wrapped up in the magic. But yeah, this is my version. It's the collected version with the original illustrations. So I do have it individually somewhere, but I'm not sure where that is. And then, for those of you that like your zombies at Christmas, I'm Scrooge, a zombie story for Christmas. This is by Adam Roberts. My husband read this last year because, you know, zombies, Christmas, you know, cool. He said it was very funny, very witty, and a good take on the Scrooge storyline, which leads me neatly to A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. There are umpteen copies of this about, and umpteen versions of it, because obviously it's been updated and rejigged and reworded, and there are several fantastic film versions. Personally, my favourite is Muppets Christmas Carol. What this says about me, I don't care. And my final book I've picked up for book recommendations for Christmas is Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. This looks at Christmas, or Hogswatch, in the Discworld, and what happens if people stop believing in something. It's a very good book with Death taking the role of the Hogfather. Don't ask, go and read it. So those are book recommendations for Christmas that I would just like to point into your direction. Some of those you will probably know already and others you won't, so hopefully I've introduced you into something new. If you have any further Christmas book recommendations, leave comments down below, please. Link me to your own blogs and videos. That would be great. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, happy reading. Bye.